2017 was such a strange year. Trump was inaugurated, North Korea shot a missile, opioids were the leading cause of death in the US, and worldwide wildfires were literally setting the globe alight. Over on YouTube, things were looking quite stale. The biggest player was PewDiePie, and some of today's top-named talent like KSI, Jacksepticeye, and Markiplier were still growing. Sure, there was epic rap battles and Smosh to laugh at, but little else amounted to the acclaim and hysterics evoked by the trio of creators under the banner Sugarpine 7. In the spring of 2017, two important catalysts would no sooner erect a storm of ensuing hilarity out of one 1 million subscriber channel by the name of Sugarpine 7, the death of Philip DeFranco's SourceFed, and Steven Suptic's filming of that very same event. Named after their childhood lodging from years past, the SP7 Guru would go on to become one of YouTube's most hilarious channels through the art of sophisticated improv and friendship. The trio of content gurus instilled their own comedy acts into one rather interesting idea, turning their lives inside out and putting an all-natural comedy spin on their day-to-day endeavors. Obviously, the concept wasn't exactly sustainable, what with daily uploads becoming a natural foil for our protagonists, which inevitably led to their pseudo-demise. While 2 out of the 3 main cast members still provide content to the channel in the form of hour-long podcasts, the alternative lifestyle that brought the channel its fame and even an award would be officially canceled in 2019. A host of issues led to its downfall, main among them being pressure, overwork, and lost creativity. But we aren't here to look at or ponder what exactly led to the downfall of one of YouTube's proudest art forms. Instead, we are here to remember and enjoy this trio of hooligans for what they were and what they accomplished in their short span amid one of the largest platforms on the internet.
Definitely been weird shit going on. Yeah, you know, time and now again, some things happen that are super weird, but, you know, I don't think we should overthink it. I think it's just, you know, things happen, you know.
Is that a lisp? James, you have a mustard stain right there, right on the tip of your shirt.
Sugarpine 7 was made up primarily of 3 main individuals, with some minor returning characters scattered throughout the series. The on-paper ringleader of the bunch and essential face of the brand, at least in its initial existence, was Steven Suptic, an ex-SourceFed producer turned creative who started filming videos on his own personal YouTube channel of the group, performing wild antics all about Los Angeles. Clayton James, oftentimes simply referred to as Kib, would join the series as soon as its second episode, and James DeAngelis, also an ex-SourceFed employee, would serve as a mere cameraman until likewise joining the bunch as among the trio of primary cast members. All 3 together are now considered the founders of Sugarpine 7, but they weren't the only ones making appearances in the web series. Alternative cast members included James Allen McCune, Mimi Torres, Autumn Farrell, Parker Coppins, and my own personal favorite, Alfredo, who still remains faceless to this day. The troupe would often even collaborate with high-value channels such as Funhouse and Couch Shop, amplifying their growth in the face of an incredible concept. Thus started a journey. A YouTube journey unlike any other, where an expert's storytelling, comedic timing, and improv skills all collided to deliver something truly astounding. Add a bit of awesome music, daily uploads, and hilarity, and you get yourself a content beast that would, among other accolades, become one of YouTube's most beloved appetites.
Yeah, I don't think they're that similar.
Today, last day of E3, 24 hours, 6 bottles, 5 hours of energy, 3 days of energy.
5 hours of energy?
That's
3 days of energy?
a joke that we would make,
That's
dude.
exactly what
You know how
would
Kib
make.
is with recollection.
You know, I had to admit, it did seem a little like IGN was using freeze-frame narrated hyper-surrealistic improv-based comedy in a vlog format as a vehicle to promote a much bigger idea.
I don't know much.
Vlogs alone have lived on the internet for quite some time, at least as early as 2000. But they grew into immense popularity around 2005, incidentally, at the very advent of YouTube itself. These early creations no sooner became a major hallmark of the platform, leading many of the most famous YouTubers we know today into the mainstream, such as Philip DeFranco and iJustine. Thus, 2006 became the year of the vlog, but the concept wouldn't take outward storm until the popularity of Casey Neistat's content nearly a decade later, around 2015. The creator would upload videos daily for a total of 534 days in a row. His content made vlogging all the more important on the platform in this new era, and while none of the Sugar Pine 7 crew explicitly state Neistat or his content as being influential to their own, it still most probably had an effect on how they structured and built the SB7 brand, as well as having a hand in its inevitable popularity. Steve himself describes the show as a freeze-frame narrated hyper-surrealistic improv-based comedy that uses the vlog format as a vehicle to promote a character-driven study. The point here is that none of it is scripted or real in any way, which makes much of their day-to-day activities seem trivial at the outset, yet still seep in a measure of FOMO. What the hell are they getting into this time? At the outset, the SB7 channel was growing exponentially. Well, that first season of Alternative Lifestyle proved rewarding. It featured such awesome moments as Kib getting a new apartment, James DeAngelis' whole draft and NASA situation, Autumn getting hired as an editor. I mean, so much can be said of that first season. It's amazing. I mean, how about the La La Land episode? And it all culminated in the death of Parker in the aptly named Acrasia episode, which in philosophy means the state of mind wherein a person acts against their better judgment. Proof enough in the fact that SB7 could be just as high-thinking as they were comedic in their approach to content. The group would win Show of the Year in 2017 at the Streamer Awards, the very same year they started. Yet moving beyond Season 1 proved challenging for the group. The reality that Season 1 is their golden child is highlighted in the fact that it is the only alternative lifestyle playlist curated by the channel itself, with both 2 and 3 remaining in a void of loneliness. It's to be expected, given what came next.
It's just part of the story. In every story, there are peaks and valleys. I just wish I could feel them. I wish I was different. But most of all, I wish that this ending felt like a new beginning. But it just felt like the ending.
In 2018, the group would get picked up by content organization Rooster Teeth, which, in many fans' minds, would be the essential death note to the channel. As Steve himself relayed in One Beyond the Pine podcast, with the content now out of their hands and control, it felt like it didn't belong to him anymore. Thus, working so many long and tireless hours on content that wasn't even his didn't feel ideal. Seasons 2 and 3 employed additional levels of filmmaking over its previous rather scuffed format. Much of the stories themselves likewise became scripted, requiring more work and less improv. In other words, Alternative Lifestyle lost that underlying force that made it so special and superb in its initial outing. Now it had become an actual business, one that required formalities and structure, as opposed to the off-the-cuff nature that bred the web series into its popularity. On June 2nd, 2019, Sugar Pine 7 would upload a video titled Sugar Pine 7 is Cancelled, signaling their departure from Rooster Teeth and the end of Alternative Lifestyle. In the video, the story this time focuses on the trio as they look toward greener pastures. Where or what those greener pastures were at the time is anyone's best guess, but today the channel still goes strong, with its Beyond the Pine podcast uploaded typically every Wednesday. Steven Suptic bowed out of continuing any podcasts around the 172 mark, and today enjoys a rather healthy existence on Twitch. Both James and Kib run the podcast on their own, averaging 5K views per day. Kib also does Fortnite streams on Twitch. While it's not the same, SB7 did evolve into a new art form, taking hold of content creation through the podcast format. featuring other channels and creators and discussions that don't require too much thought process. In all, they have come full circle, remaining comfort food for fans while still producing awesome content, whether it be in video or music.
What?
Because the angle, that having two legs angle, I can do one. Just a huge angle. I can do one leg.
Well, I need both. You know what? You could just.
In my feature, I didn't even get to discuss the group's amazing music performances. Steve himself made some of his own music under the Sugar tagline, while Kib 2 makes his own music on the side under the name Whales Talk. The group have several music videos beyond even their own regular content, thus making them quite well-rounded, especially when you take into account their short horror film. YouTube just isn't the same without them. I myself didn't discover Sugar Pine 7 until 2019, so I missed the run-up to their immense success. And while they may be gone as we knew them, alternative lifestyle still lives to this day, and is just as hilarious as it was in 2017. For anyone in need of some comfort YouTube content, I suggest heading back in time with this group of hilarious individuals. You may just find your next favorite song or one-liner amidst the mix.
If you like the content, smash the like button like it's Steven Suptic's bicycle. And consider subscribing for more deep dives like this. Hit me with your favorite alternative lifestyle or even Sugar Pine 7 videos in the comments down below. Speaking of awesome YouTube channels, several of my colleagues have, in the name of their employment, kickstarted a series aptly entitled Please Help. The so-called shadow board that essentially rules our lives gave them the ultimatum of acquiring 5,000 subscribers in less than a month to keep their jobs. So if there's any channel literally in dire need of your support, it's Enstarz and the talented, passionate, and lovely crew over there. Their content is absolutely hilarious, and even I'm in it, being a moron, so what's more to love? I'll leave a link to their channel in the description down below. It would mean the world to me and to them if you considered subscribing. You'll legitimately be ensuring their continued employment at the company. With all that being said, I'll leave off with simply this. Don't you dare drown out there, lads.
We could simplify